Podcast. We're going live right now. I want to thank y'all for joining us. And we got a special guest joining us today. We got my good buddy Pablo going to come online here in a few minutes with us, and we're going to talk fishing for the next hour of what's going on down in San Diego. And my good buddy Justin Botrell's coming back from hunting in Texas, so there's a chance he'll join us on the show today. Our other guide, Sonny, he is out on a boat. I know it's hard to believe, but Sonny's out on a boat today, so we're not going to get Sonny on here, but he wanted to make sure I let everybody know that he's still around and he's still working hard, and he wants to be on the show as soon as he's not so damn busy. But hey, that's part of being part of your saltwater guide. You get involved with your saltwater guide, then all of a sudden you're super busy. Another person that's super busy now since they've been a part of your saltwater guide is our good buddy Todd Manzer. He's absolutely going full speed. Hey, John Stanley, thanks for joining us today. But Todd Manzer Marine and Everglades, he's going crazy. Tim, look at my hat, buddy. I was hoping you were going to join us today. Look at that hat. I can't wait to get up there and go fly fishing. And we're going to have a big announcement here on Thursday when Kelly Girl's on the show with me. You guys don't miss that show. I've got a big announcement. Something I said I would never do, but I'm going to do. And you want to make sure you don't miss that. Brian, thanks for joining us. John, Tim, everybody that's joining us, thank you. Dave Burris, we're going to get this thing going here real soon on the rod building part of the website. I'm sorry. I just been so dang busy. I kind of didn't get that up there yet. That hat looks really good, doesn't it? The only thing it would look better on is if I was up in the Sierras fishing. But gang, we're looking like we're going to have some phenomenal weather this weekend. There he is, Dave Burris. Welcome to the show, buddy. Getting that rod building thing going this week for definite. You'll have full access here by this middle of this week, buddy. But hey, my good buddy Pablo's in the way, standing by. Let's bring him in. Welcome to the show, Pablo. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Hey, good morning, Captain. How you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal, gang. If you don't know who Pablo is one of our guides, works with your saltwater guide. He also is a yacht or a charter boat operator down in San Diego. And he's also a professional licensed guide. And Pablo, Sonny, and Justin are all working under the Your Saltwater Guide umbrella. And you're putting together some phenomenal game plans every week. So I am so happy, Pablo, that you're part of me. And you make my life so much easier covering that south part of the game plans, buddy. And that one you put together last weekend, those of you that saw it, John Stanley's watching. Wasn't that incredible? That's what I need from you and Justin and Sonny every week, something like that. That is really cool.
Yeah, so I appreciate that, and I got a lot of really good feedback from John, from Tony, from everybody. They really liked it, and I didn't make it up. I mean, that's how you used to do it, and that's why I was like, oh man, I'm gonna stoke Captain Hansen out today. I'm gonna go do it like he used to do it on the boat, and I went and did it that way just because it's a little better feel when you can actually see the electronics and you can see the areas. You get just a bigger picture. So yeah, so that's how I'm going to try to do it every time from now on, moving forward. Obviously, got to get down to the boat to do that. So that's going to be my goal, is just to get those done on time and each and every time do it similar in fashion to that.
Hold on one second. Andrew, you got a question? Go ahead. If you got a question, you go right ahead. If you're just saying that, we'll be more than happy to answer your question. But yeah, the way you put that together reminded me of how I used to do it. Gang, when I used to be on the boat every day, now that I'm up here, Pablo and I were talking the other day, I need to get me a nice GPS up here in Marley's room and make it happen that way. But Justin loved the way you put together that game plan. I loved it. And we're excited to see what Justin puts together this week. And I know you're going to have a phenomenal plan. Pablo, you got trips coming this weekend, right? You're going fishing.
Yeah, we're going fishing. I'm taking Saltwater Guide members out. Taking Jason Cutter out this Friday. We're taking the Stanleys, Tina, and John Stanley out on Saturday night, and yeah, we're gonna go on 2 lobster trips back to back, Friday and Saturday night.
All right. I'm excited to see it. Now we're off of that full moon. It should be pretty darn good down there in Mission Bay.
Oh yeah, and I mean when we clobbered them too, it was like the day after full moon, whatever it was, last Monday. But yeah, I kind of laid low this week, just recuperating my shoulder. I say that, but I still did a little boat maintenance yesterday, but it was more in the fashion of just watching Caden do it. My son, deckhand Caden, and he really did everything. He did the full service on both engines, and all we did was work on the boat for a little bit, and then I've been pretty much on ice ever since. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, the doctor told you not to do it, and you were out fishing right after your surgery, you knucklehead.
I know. Well, I wasn't fishing. I was just out there with the guys, but yeah, never did it that first week for sure. And yeah, but I'm ready. I mean, I feel really good for Friday and Saturday, and I think it's going to be great nights out there. The weather is going to be phenomenal. The fishing is phenomenal everywhere right now. I mean, the fishing's hot still. If you know where to go, there's plenty of fish out there.
Yeah, there's no reason to put away your fishing tackle and your rods and reels and stuff. There is, besides lobster, which we've been kind of talking about lobsters a lot, but besides lobsters, you got so much going on down there in your backyard. Talk about a few of the areas. Don't tell them the spots because that's part of your saltwater guide. But
yeah, so we'll definitely give out the spots, as we do on the game plans. But yeah, for the members. But what I can tell you is there's still been pretty good yellowtail fishing if you know where to go. There's been great lingcod, great sheephead, bass, halibut. I mean, halibut's on fire right now, and Catalina as well. That's no secret, but that's not the spot that I'm going to tell you about later. But I mean, there's halibut all over the place right now, and they're hungry. They're eating.
And then as far as rockfish fishing, you guys are still you're all the guys that listen to you are still doing real good out there on the 9, right?
Oh yeah, the rock fishing is incredible right now. It's in Southern California, it's year round. You just have to kind of change your target a little bit. The tuna, they're still out there, but it's more trophy hunting right now for the tuna. Just a lot of fuel and a lot of searching, but they are out there. But yeah, if I'm the one going out, or if I'm paying for my own fuel, I'm going to go where the fish are. I'm not going to go hunt all day for.
All right. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. You don't want to go burn a bunch of fuel right now. You got halibut. Halibut's like, for me, way better than a big dumb bluefin that you can't even eat. It tastes like a dirt clod. But somebody doesn't know what time it is. Hey, real quick, I got to talk about this, gang. It's Promar Ahi USA Tuesday. Gang, we're talking about rockfish out on the 9. Listen, if you don't have one of these diamond jigs from Promar, or excuse me, from Promar Ahi, they're the same. But if you don't have one of these diamond jigs, gang, you're just cheating on yourself right now. With that fish being in 500-600 feet of water, you can throw this assault diamond jig as your sinker. You can make this be your weight. Right above it, you put one hook, one single hook. Drop this down to the bottom. Big reds, big starry-eyed rockfish, big groupers, lingcod. They all love this big silver diamond jig, assault jig from Promar Ahi. You can get this and so much more. You can get bait nets, transfer scoops. You can get squid brails. You can get gaffs. You can get all your products for lobster fishing. Everything's available to you at the Promar website. And remember, just by entering through the QR code that we're going to flash up here on our screen right now, you can save 20% on your order, plus one lucky person on January 1st, 2024 is going to win a gift package. And we gave away that gift package yesterday. We're going to give away another one on the 1st. All you got to do is enter through the QR code. That gets you that get you a chance to win. You don't have no purchase necessary, but while you're in the website, you're looking around, you're going to be blown away by all the products. Sabikis. If you ever used a sabiki, they make the sabiki. They make the sabiki rod. They make gaffs. They make squid brails. They make all the bait scoops. You'll be blown away. Let me show you. You'll be blown away by all the different products Promar makes. You're going to go, wow. I use Promar products or Promar Ahi products every single day, and I don't even know it. You're going to check out the website. You're going to get to see all this cool swag, the clothing, the hats, the gloves, everything that Pablo and Justin talk about out on their lobster trips, plus much, much more. Go over to the website, check it out, go through the QR code. That's going to save you 20%. Those of you that are driving, listening to the podcast, go to PromarAhiUSA.com or PromarAhi.com, PromarAhi.com, and enter the website. And when you're time to check out, put in the code YSWG, and that'll save you 20% on your order. And then you'll be blown away by all the products they have over there. Pablo, we lost your video, so jump back on when you get a chance. And hopefully Justin joins us. But grab that QR code. I'm going to pull the QR code down off of here. And we're going to talk about something that's Todd Manser. I was just talking to him right before we went live on the show. Something we all need to remember and we all need to go look at is you got to check your safety equipment. You got to check all of your stuff, your life jackets, your flares, your fire extinguishers. Todd's doing fire extinguishers right now. Here, Pablo's back, but let me just keep going here. Todd's doing fire extinguisher checks today on a bunch of the yachts Manser Marine takes care of. And I was like, yeah, we need to talk about that. A lot of you take for granted that fire extinguisher is good. Pablo's fireman. Hey, how many people overlook that fire extinguisher? What's going on there, Pablo? Someone's dancing in the background or something. I can hear all kinds of garbage in the back.
Oh, you can? There's a bunch of background noise?
Now there's not.
Okay. I don't know. I don't hear anything.
But gang, the fire extinguishers are probably one of the most overlooked things on your boat. You got to pay attention to that. It's super important, gang. If you have a fire extinguisher that's out of date on your boat, yeah, you've got some feedback going on there. I don't know what it is, Pablo. Something's crazy on the other end there. The noise is deafening. But gang, you got to make sure everything's up to date. Your fire extinguishers, your flares, they got to be up to date, because if they're out of date, that is a huge fine. You can have them on your boat, but if the certificate says that they haven't been recharged, or if the flares are out of date, it all matters, gang, and you're going to get a big ticket. So while we're going into this holiday season, let's take a look at all of the stuff we got on our boat to make sure we're compliant. First of all, the Coast Guard board jet, that's a ticket. But second of all, gang, it's your life. You got to remember, all this stuff matters. And a lot of us don't even look at the stuff. We got the boat, we got the fire extinguisher. I know you're like panicking right now because you haven't checked that tag on your fire extinguisher. That is super important. Everybody on every boat, their fire extinguisher, that's the first thing after the life jackets that the Coast Guard's going to ask you, or the Harbor Patrol's going to ask you, can I see your fire extinguisher? You're going to pull it out, and it's going to be expired. You do not want to have an expired fire extinguisher on your boat. Check it out. Plus your flares. Yes, your flares are super important to not be out of date. So you want to make sure all that stuff's compliant, right, fireman?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You don't want to overlook the main safety items on your boat. I mean, that's a huge one. And a lot of people just take for granted, not to get it inspected or not to make sure it's up to date or anything. I mean, the last time you want to find out it's not working is when it's actually needed. That's for sure.
Absolutely. But it's a quick check. You can get your fire extinguishers recharged, or the way things are today, you can pretty much buy it. Something's going on over there, Pablo. I don't know what it is, but it's a gnarly feedback.
Here, let me mute it.
That's better. Can you hear me now? Okay. Whatever it is, it's a gnarly feedback. I don't know what's jumping through there. But gang, when you look at your fire extinguisher, you're going to go, okay, it's going to be $35 or $45 to buy one brand new. Or it's going to be $25 to have the guy come down and service them. I don't know about you, but I think I just go for the brand new one. Maybe I'm way off base. Maybe they're more than that. What do you think, Pablo? What's the best thing to do with that?
I mean, obviously you got to price it out, and it really depends on if you have like an automatic system, something like that. I have an automatic system in my boat, and I would rather just have them come inspect it and charge it. And if it needs an inspection or anything else internally, then at that point you could buy a new one or whatever. They're not cheap, that's for sure, for like the automatic systems. But as far as the portable extinguishers that you have on the vessel, you just got to do your research and see what the best option is for you.
Well, here's something that I saw. You're not feedback anymore, so it sounds good. Here's something that I saw that Todd Manzer turned me on to. People have a fire extinguisher, but they don't know how to use it. They don't know how to use it, Pablo. How important is it to know how to use your fire extinguisher? You don't want to try to practice when it's fire time, right?
No, absolutely not. And I mean, with YouTube University out there, I mean, anybody can learn how to do it effectively. And depending on the type of extinguisher, there's just certain methods you do. And I don't want to give too much advice on fighting fires, but you know what I mean? You just gotta just know what you're doing, study how to use it, and if you can, participate in a drill where you actually deploy one. You can contact your local fire department if they put something like that on, or maybe if you have somebody with one of those companies, they could put something on for you. But yeah, everybody should know how to use it and be comfortable with it, because like Captain Hansen said, you don't want to be fiddling around learning how to use it in the heat of the moment.
And there's 3 types of fires you can have on a boat that are that they have all the time on a boat. You can have electrical fire, you can have a fuel fire, you can have a grease fire while you're cooking, and all of those have to be approached in a different manner, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. And that's why a lot of the extinguishers we have now are combination, because we break those down into A, B, C type fires and even D type fires. But a lot of those extinguishers are specifically, all the chemicals are combined, so they're good for all the classes. And that's something to pay attention to, because you definitely need certain types of product for certain types of fires.
And what I saw on the video I was watching, they hit a grease fire in the galley with the fire extinguisher. And when it hit the grease flew up and hit all over the walls of the boat. And now the whole boat was on fire. And they thought they were going to put it out with the fire extinguisher, but they had the wrong kind.
Yeah, that could be the wrong kind. It could be the technique. I mean, there's a lot of variables, but again, like with grease fires, like the best thing you can do is just smother them. Like if you could just throw a lid on it or a cover on it or even a thick blanket on it and just smother it. Just get that thing out. Turn off the heat, obviously. Smother it. That's the best way to do that. Now, if it's gotten out of the pan or it's spread around and there's a lot of grease and stuff, well, just do your best to get it out, because if you don't have an extinguisher that works, and if you don't have the wrong kind, then you probably lose your vessel, because everything's going to torch up pretty quick. All the the type A type of fires, that's all your woods and plastics and things like that. I mean, that's the fiberglass, carpets, all the furniture, all that stuff inside. It just torches super quick. So you got to be quick to act and use the right stuff.
And so the type of fire extinguisher you would suggest that everybody has is the ABC, covers everything?
A combination fire extinguisher that, like you pointed out, the different classes, and a combination would preclude you from having to have all kinds of different agents. And that's typically how they come. Typically, most people just go in and get a portable extinguisher. Oh yeah, this is good. Okay. But if you look at it and you read the label, they're all rated by their weight and their chemical, composition. So an ABC that covers everything you should need in the vessel.
And I'm just sitting here listening to you right now. We're so blessed that we have Pablo on board your saltwater guide gang, because he's a firefighter. That's his job. That's what he did forever. Yeah, he's a fisherman and he's a guide, but he's a fireman. So we can't get any better information than this. Right?
Yeah, I mean, thank you very much. I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple, but sometimes it's the simple things we overlook. And just getting used to that thing, making sure where it's located too, that's a huge thing. When they ask you if you're getting your vessels inspected, or if you're doing a safety briefing or anything, they should really be, well, they have to be in certain areas, right? Depending on your vessel. But the main thing to think about here is, where is it and how quick can I get to it? Is there anything that's going to cut me off from it? That's why it's better to have, depending on the size of your vessel. I mean, I have 3 on mine. My boat's not that big, but I like to have them in every compartment on the boat. That way I'd never get cut off from getting it, or I always have access to at least 1 or 2. So again, and then I have my automatic system too, just to be sure.
Then would you say it's probably a good idea before you leave on a trip to make sure that somebody else on the boat knows how to use it except you, because you're going to be probably busy if something happens, right?
Oh yeah, captain's got a lot of things to do, or the boat operator, whoever that might be. But yeah, everybody needs to be briefed and aware on how to use it. And I would say this, just to tie this up, we have to do, we're mandated to do a pre-trip safety meeting, or briefing with passengers and crew before we go out. That's a really good practice, and there's nothing that says that civilians can't do that on their own, or that if you don't have a captain's license or whatever, that you can't do that. And I would say that, as a matter of fact, everybody should be doing that. You should be having some kind of a checklist for your vessel to make sure that, not just to put it into service for the day, but all the safety things are covered. Like, where are the life jackets? Where's the fire extinguishers? What are we going to do if we have a person overboard? What's our Mayday, sequence? Just go through anything or everything really quick, so you know how to act through all those situations.
So what's happening, Pablo, is they're getting feedback when I talk to you on your phone or on your computer. That's what's happening. Dave Burris is letting us know. So the feedback's coming. So gang, while we're talking, I'll have him mute his mic. Another thing that a lot of us forget about and don't even think about is some type of first aid kit on the boat. Now, Pablo's also a paramedic, so this is going to be something that he can touch on, and we can talk about that in a few minutes. What kind of because Dan, Kim, Tim, all of you that are going out on your boat every single day, if you're like me, we just go. I'm on my skiff with my grandkids and stuff, and I don't even think, oh my gosh, I haven't checked my fire extinguisher. I don't even know where the life jackets are. I've been on the boat so many times, I start taking stuff for granted, but then I look at my fire extinguisher, it's out of date. I think I don't even have a first aid kit on the boat. All this stuff is super important. Another thing, before we get into that, and we're going to get into that, we're going to go deep into it with Pablo, and I'm going to let him talk all about what type of a first aid kit we should have and what we should be looking at when we're putting together our first aid kit. But gang, Pablo's got a great deal. Sonny's got a great deal. Justin's got a great deal. Justin and Sonny aren't with us today. We're selling gift certificates to have Pablo come with you on your boat and teach you how to fish on your boat. Or you can buy a gift certificate to fish with Pablo on his boat. I have a lifetime membership right now that I'm throwing out there for everybody. If you want to be a part of your saltwater guide, you can jump on this. $350 lifetime membership. Gang, it's the best fishing website ever made for fishermen. I will stand up on top of the mountain and say that till I die. I fish for a living my whole life. That's all I've done. Bought cars, houses, got married. Everything had to do with fishing. My father started in 1947. Every house he bought, every boat he bought, every dime he had came from fishing. We're real, honest fishermen. That's what we've done. We built a website for fishermen by fishermen. We're going to offer you lifetime membership, or you can just sign up for the monthly $9.99. January 1st, 2024, the price of tea in China is going up tremendously. You're going to be blown away. If you didn't get in, you're going to be kicking yourself in the butt. I can let you in at any level you want. You can get in lifetime. You can get in for the month, whatever you want. Once you're in, you're locked in. The rates won't go up. But January 1st, anybody that's not locked in, your rates are going to go tremendously higher. I promise you that. You'll be blown away. Also, you can get a hold of Pablo. I'm going to throw his phone number up here. You can get a hold of Pablo. You can get out on the boat with him, or he can go with you on your boat and teach you how to fish on your boat. Why Pablo's talking to us about what you need to have on. I mean, how cool is it to have Pablo come with you on your boat? Not only is he a professional licensed guide, professional licensed captain, firefighter, paramedic, first responder. Dude, really? When he comes with you on your boat, he's going to take total care of you, and you can do all that for a gift certificate. You can get a hold of Pablo. You can give him a call. But Pablo, while we're talking, let everybody know what we need. A first aid kit. We all got to have one. We all should have one. We're stupid if we don't. What do we want to do with our first aid kit on our boat?
Well, I always say the first aid kit should definitely match the situation you need it for. Of course, it should also be in alignment with your level of training. Like, what are you, if you're, first responder, or you have some CPR first aid experience, or you're an EMT, obviously paramedic, physician, nurse, they might all have a little bit more or less in their go-to bags. I would say on my boat, it's really simple. I just got a really nice big first aid kit from, I don't even remember. I think it was like Rite Aid or CVS or something. And it was a really, really nice one. The reason I like it is because there's everything you need in there. It even has like Tylenol, aspirin, but it has a lot of bandaging stuff, little scissors, little slings. It has all kinds of Band-Aids. It's pretty much good for all that. Now, I know this sounds like a joke, but we all usually have duct tape on our boats. And I'm telling you, if something major goes on, duct tape is a good tool to have. I mean, I joke a lot about that when I go on a surf trip or something. I just say all I need is duct tape and maybe some Benadryl in case somebody gets an allergic reaction, and some aspirin in case somebody has a heart attack. And that's like, making light of it, but duct tape has a lot of value. If you get some, broken extremities or something, or even to control bleeding or anything like that, I don't want to get too in detail, but the main thing on the vessel is space. Get a nice little kit that just has a good little bit of everything. That's what I would recommend. Just a go-to that you can pull out quickly, and how to use everything in there, and get familiar with it before you need to. Just like the extinguisher, you don't want to be opening that thing up, dumping it upside down and looking for stuff. You want to know where everything is in there. So look it up, get familiar with it, and figure out, where everything is and all that.
All right. So what would be the things that, okay, we got our first aid kit, but what would be the things you would suggest, as coming from the first responder world that you come from, that is a must-have on your boat, that you have on your boat, that most of us don't even think about?
I don't know if there's anything that nobody necessarily isn't going to think about, but I mean, the one thing I would think about is have something for bleeding control, but that's going to be in there. That's going to be in the first aid kit. I'm not going to bring any medications or anything like that other than aspirin and Tylenol. Sometimes, obviously, I'll keep motion sickness stuff on the boat for people, but other than that, I don't really bring medications or anything, because that opens you up to liability and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't think there's any surprises. I mean, honestly, just the basics. Like I would say like a $40 or $50 kit, if you have the money and the means to do that. Those are really nice, and they're all encompassing, but you just want to make sure it has like gauze, like rolls of gauze, maybe some gauze pads. I really like big Band-Aids too, and that's what the duct tape is. Turns into a really big Band-Aid. You can use that gauze and all the pads, and you can do whatever you need to do. Other than that, I can't think of anything special that I would bring out there. I mean, a good old first aid kit is good enough.
All right, perfect. I'm glad we got to talk about that for a minute. So, gang, we're going to, and Devo, that's perfect. Paper towels, alcohol, electrical tape, duct tape, all that stuff. It's all good. So now we're going to get back into fishing. We got a gnarly, gosh, I don't know what's going on with my talk, but I'm sorry, Pablo. I don't mean to make you turn off your thing every time, but the feedback's crazy. Sorry about that, everybody. Gang, we're going to get back into, I just wanted Pablo to touch on that because Todd Manser talked about it to me today, and I thought it's a thing that we're not really looking at. I tell you all this time of year, every year when I do my podcast, and something to think about, gang. We do this podcast Monday through Friday, Pacific Standard Time. We're going into my 4th year of doing a 5-day-a-week podcast. Everybody tells me, how in the heck do you come up with so much stuff to talk about, Dave? How do you do this? Gang, it takes a village. I'm happy to have Pablo with me because it helps me out tremendously. I'm happy to have all of you guys out there sending in your comments, sending in what you'd like to see. It all helps because, believe me, I try to put together the most informative, fun show every day. I know a lot of you at work, your schedule revolves around my 1-hour show every day at lunchtime. That's why I do it at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, gang. I'm an Orange County, California guy, so I kind of cater to those people. Those of you that are watching in Florida, New York, Australia, everywhere else that you watch it, I'm blown away by the amount of people watching around the world. The reason why we do it at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time every day is because of my roots, Orange County, Southern California. So I'm kind of playing to my root audience. I know I have audience now all over the place. I know what's going on is absolutely incredible. I am blown away and I'm humbled every single day by all of you. And I thank all of you for watching. I want to let you all know before me and Pablo get into how much cool the fishing is and how cool it's going to be this weekend hoop netting. I am leaving on Friday. I'm going to be driving up to Lopez Mateos with my good buddy Mark Rayer, and we're going to be up there for 3 days shooting content, fishing in the mangroves for 3 days. If you go to windy.com and you look, the weather is going to be epic in Mag Bay. We're going to be fishing 3 days hard, 2 old men in a ponga, and we're going to be making some of the most spectacular content. I need all of you to tell me what you would like to see. I'm going to make content, because I put out 3 brand new videos every single day, gang. Think about this. I put out a picture at 7 o'clock in the morning. I put out 3 brand new videos every single day. I also do a podcast Monday through Friday at 12 o'clock. If you don't think I'm busy, I am mind-bogglingly busy every day. I get 10,000 comments a week. I try to answer all those comments. I pay someone to answer comments for me. Plus, Kelly and I are constantly working. If you could give us some tips, if you could leave some stars, it all helps the show. It all lets me know that I'm doing the right thing. All the love that I get from everybody, the sponsors, everything matters. Everything helps. If you want to have your product shown to millions of people every week, you can become part of your saltwater guide. We can showcase your products. We can showcase your tackle store. We can do so much to help you. If you don't understand, just think about this. Everywhere you go nowadays, people go, did you see Dave's show yesterday? Did you hear Dave? It's pretty amazing, gang. So if you want to get to be a part of this, your saltwater guide, just drop me a line. Let me know what you got going on, what you want to know. And also text message me what you want me to film up there in Lopez Mateo, or video. Excuse me, Jack. What do you want me to video up there? I know no one films anymore. I'm an old man. But what you want me to videotape while I'm in Lopez Mateos, you've seen my content from up there before. So just let me know what you want to know. I'll do my best. And Pablo's going to try to go live. He's got a lot going on, gang. His shoulder's still pretty jacked up. So he's going to do his best to try to go live if he can. He's going to try it again. The other night, it was kind of tough. Up there in Mission Bay, it's kind of weird. They got some like blockages, Tim. So the internet doesn't work all that great when he's out there. But he's going to do his best to try to get involved in that live show. But hey, Pablo, talk to everybody about what you got these trips this weekend. Just let them know how it all works, the plan, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. Because there's a lot of people that want to go catch lobsters and they love your plan. So talk about that for a little bit.
Talk about catching the lobsters or about the specials, or what do you want me to talk about?
Both, man.
Okay. So we got some really good specials going on, and collectively with Captain Hansen and Sonny and Justin and myself, we came up with our own specials. And basically what I have going right now till the end of the year, I'm selling a $500 certificate, which is great for me to come out on your boat as a guide, which is normally $1,000 charge for that instead of right now $500. And then I'm also allowing it to be redeemed for either a 4-hour fishing trip, like to the 9 Mile Bank, Point Loma, La Jolla, something like that. Or, of course, what's hot right now that we've been talking a lot about, hoop netting. And it's good it's a private boat for you and 3 other people. So 4 people total. And that's normally an $800 trip. And you can get that for $500 right now till the end of the year. And it'll be good all the way through 2024. So it'll be good for a little bit over a year, depending on when you buy it, before December 31st. And I also am doing open parties. So any day that I'm not scheduled to go out on the boat, because I really, really enjoy hoop netting and I love to do it. So I'm willing to go out with 2 people minimum. So it wouldn't be a private party, it would be open party. But if we can get at least 2, then I'd be charging $200 per person. And if we get all 4 people, I'll share the wealth and I'll make it $175 per person. That way you still get a deal for the holidays. And other than that, we've been doing really good hooping. We've been doing really good catching lobster. We've been catching all kinds of stuff. The little horn sharks, stingrays. The other guys caught an octopus the other night. So yeah, you never know what's going to come up in that net, and it's so much fun for the whole family. I mean, just the whole experience. And if you come out with us, we take the time to really talk through everything that we're doing, so you know everything about how to bait the traps, how to throw the traps, deploy them, retrieve them, handle them, line manage them, keep them all high and tight, so it's easy to keep pulling them and throwing them. And we go over the whole thing. I even show people what I'm looking for on the bottom, or the depths. I mean, everything. I don't hold anything back, because we are encouraging all of our members to get out there and do it. It's great to come out with us, one of the guides, any one of us, especially if you're not comfortable on your boat at night, or you don't want to be so close to the rocks, or so shallow with the waves. Well, we have all that stuff figured out. We have our hot spots. All 3 of us have plenty of honey holes, as they say, where to go. And we can even stay inside the harbor if it's really, really rough. And as we all know from listening to all the information here from Captain Hansen that he always puts out, sometimes the best nights are those rainy, stormy nights. And those bugs just love to crawl. The less light out there, the better. And especially when that water gets churned up and all that sediment, and they feel like they're protected from all the predators and everybody that wants to eat them, which is everybody. And they seem to get a little bit more, they feel a little more free. They crawl a little bit more. So when it's really stormy, it's a great time to go. And I know that doesn't sound fun being cold and wet, but it's not that long of a trip. And we'll gear you up. We'll make sure you have the right gear to keep you high and dry as possible. and yeah, just try to load you up on bugs.
Yeah, that's pretty spectacular to think about. You can go with Pablo on his boat and you can learn how to do it. Instead of paying the $1,000, you can go on Pablo's boat and he can show you how he's doing it. Then what I would suggest to people, and I used to suggest it all the time when I was doing it every day, is video this. Show yourself what we're doing in case you forget. Show video how we bait the hoop, video how we set the line up, video how we throw it in the water, video how we pull it up. That way you can take all that knowledge and then go to your boat and duplicate what we're doing and have a phenomenal time out on the water. It's all about what I built your saltwater guide for. It's all about making sure that you stay in the game. We saw a lot of people leave the game in 2006, 2007, 2008. We don't want that to ever happen again. We want you to stay in the game. Therefore, I built the most phenomenal educational website ever built by a fisherman for fishermen, with a phenomenal community, with 3 phenomenal guides that are willing to share all the secrets that you guys all think are secrets. We're sharing everything with you. Then I take it a step further and I give you every spot. Nobody out there is giving you rock cod spots. I give you all the rock cod spots. You call Pablo up and you say, hey, buddy, I'm a member. My name's Tim Ogilvy, and I'm a member, and I want to go catch some rockfish. Pablo gives you the exact numbers, right, Tim? He puts you right on the spot. You go right to where Pablo tells you to. You drop your line down in the water, and you wind up 2 rockfish at a time. Or you listen to Pablo on Thursday, and he tells you exactly where to go hoop netting at. And then you go out there and you go hoop netting, and you catch lobsters. Let me tell you something, gang. If you're successful when you go fishing, it's going to be very, very hard to sell that boat. It's going to be very hard. My sponsors are so excited that we let you in on every part of this information because they're going to sell more tackle. They're going to sell more line. They're going to sell more hooks. They're going to sell more hoop nets. If you're successful, if we hide the ball like I did 70s, 80s, 90s, we didn't share anything with anybody. I did. I helped create the sewer, which when we stood back and looked and they started closing massive areas and we were like, why are they closing everything? And then we're like, oh my gosh, there's people on the internet saying that all the fish are gone. All the lobsters are gone. It's like Steve Lasley, Pete Grossbeck, Todd, Billy, we all got to get involved. We all got to share what we know because they're closing everything. We can't have that anymore, gang. We can't have another closure. We can't afford another closure. We don't deserve another closure. We are the best keepers of our industry. We preserve it the very best. Why did I build this website? Why do I let all this information out? It's because I want you to keep your boat and I want you to keep fishing. That's why Pablo's approachable. That's why Justin's approachable. That's why Sonny's approachable. And you know what's amazing, Paul? Every time someone calls me and says, hey, I can't believe you answered your phone. I already told you I'm going to answer the phone. When I give you Pablo's number and you're blown away that Pablo answered the phone, it's what we do, gang. We're not here to hide the ball. We're not going to hide the ball. We're going to help you tremendously. What's really cool, and Tim will tell you, John Stanley will tell you, when our Hot Rod will tell you, when Pablo shows up on your boat, he comes in, no attitude, super nice man, comes in and he's ready to check out your boat, help you out with whatever you need. He's on your boat, but he's taken all of his knowledge from his first responder and from his captain and from deckhanding and from doing everything he's done. He's taken all that over to your boat and he's helping you to make sure that you're doing the very best you can possibly do. Right, Pablo?
Yeah, that's right. And, that's kind of something I love to do. I mean, I don't really tell them what I'm doing, but I let them know I'd like to do an inspection before we go if possible. And I try to get there, with as much time I can give them to where if there's something they need to correct before we go. So I usually do it a few days beforehand or a week or so beforehand. That way I can take a good look at their boat and make any recommendations. But while I'm doing that, besides the safety stuff that has to be in place, I take a quick look at their setup. Like, how is this thing set up to fish? How could they improve it? Is everything operational? Does anything need, something quick and easy to fix?
Okay.
And
I found this on
I
the
love
web for Does Anything Eat?
Oh my
Check it out.
gosh. Hold on. What is Siri doing here? Whoa. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I really love to get in there and just kind of make the boat. I'm not going to say like my boat, but I want to make it usable, functional, the best that I can. I mean, and I'll fiddle with stuff if you want me to, or let me during the time I'm there, just to get everything the most efficient and operational for you. So I really love to go on people's boats and help them just set it up, dial in their electronics, make sure their bait tank's going good, just everything, radio, electronics, the whole 9 yards, and then operation and of everything, and then introducing you to your local fishery, the Saltwater Guideway. How we all do it and try to stay consistent doing it.
Yeah, that's spectacular. Yeah, Dan, that is my monkey. That is Marley, the marmoset monkey. We saved him from a family down here in Mexico. He lives with my wife and I and our 2 cats. All of our animals that live in our house are all rescue animals. That's why I always ask for some stars or some tips. On YouTube, you can tip us, and on Facebook, you can leave stars, and it all goes to help feed the animals, house the animals, take care of the animals. It's all part of the deal. But yeah, that's a monkey. He's flying around back behind me. I'm sorry, I had to answer that for Dan, but go ahead, Pablo. Talk about more how you help John, how you help everybody you show up on their boat. Everybody's super happy to have you on their boat.
Yeah, so everybody has been great, and I haven't had any bad experiences at all doing it. Being a guide is, it's a blessing, and we love doing it. I'm looking for the opportunity to come out with as many Saltwater Guide members as I possibly can, just to get them dialed in. Because once you feel comfortable on your own boat with all the right equipment and everything in place, you just start. I mean, that's where you go to the next level and the next level and the next level. You just gotta, break that barrier and just pretty much go for it. And there's nothing better to help you do that than one of our guides, to just make sure you got everything you need, make sure your boat is just dialed in. And then aside from that, we can show you spots, more importantly, different methods, and just the functional operation of everything on your boat. Just dial it up for success.
Well, here's the thing. A little bit of confidence goes a long ways. Tim Ogilvy, wouldn't you say that? Janet, Miss Hot Rod, you say the same thing. And then here we got Dave from Deckhand Sports. Just that little bit of confidence will go so much farther. It's going to keep you in the boating deal. It's going to keep you in the fishing thing. That's the most important thing. Like when I used to do the reports for Fish Dope, I used to have the Evernham brothers would call me and say, Dave, are you going to give the report today for the private boaters? Because the Evernham brothers, yeah, they supply the greatest bait in the world. But you know what they want to do? They want to sell bait. That's why they would call and say, are you going to do your report today? And then it would come out on Fish Dope, the private boater report that I would do every day on Fish Dope. And then a bunch of boats would show up at the bait barge in the morning and buy bait. Same thing's going on over here at your Saltwater Guide, gang. Think about that. I started this website $4.99 a month. Now it's $9.99. On January 1st, 2024, it's going to go to $29.99. Because we have a proven concept, I want you to get in now why it's still $9.99. I don't raise prices on anybody. As I raise my prices, it's never for existing members. But what I can promise you, gang, is my stuff's real. You can Google my name. You can go and you can look. And if you follow, here's the hard part. And Devo, you can stand behind this, Dave Burris. You can go out there fishing on your private boat. But if you are a member of my website and you follow the simple game plan and you go to the simple spots and you do what Pablo says or Justin says or Sonny says or I say, and you do every single thing right, you will be successful. Most people's ego will not allow them to do everything right. They'll get to a point. Perfect example. 2 days ago, a guy called me up and said, Dave, I've been casting a 4-ounce torpedo sinker on a dropper loop off the break wall, and I have yet to catch a halibut. I'm all, what part of my website do I say cast a dropper loop? It's not called a caster loop. It's called a dropper loop. If you're going to cast, you're going to use a sliding sinker. I have it all broken down for you. Fishing is not that hard. Ego is your number one killer to keep you from being successful, gang, because people are blown away. And Dave over at Deckhand Sports, or you can attest to this. Everything I tell everybody is exactly gospel. It's the thing. It's what you need to do. If you do what I say, you will be successful. If you leave out one ingredient, like putting on a dropper loop when you're casting, you won't be successful. But your ego should never get in the way of your success. I have made it super easy for all of you to be successful when you go fishing. We have over 4,100 members that share in the community all the time about all their success. There's a whole bunch of people sharing right now how blown away they are that they can get on the phone and call Pablo or call me or call Justin, and we're going to tell you exactly where to go throw your hoop net in the water to catch lobsters. Perfect example. Jason Lawler called me yesterday morning and said, hey, I'm going to fish Long Beach Harbor tonight. Where should I go? I told him exactly where to go. He sent me a message. He also posted on the community. They got limits of lobsters last night at Long Beach Harbor, right where Justin told them to go. They took my information, went to my spot, took Justin's information, put 5 over there on Justin's spot. Justin's spot seemed to be the best, and they wailed on him, and they caught him. It's all about doing everything. Like we said on the show yesterday, was about doing everything right. Today, we go circle right back around there. When Pablo does the game plans on Thursday and he tells you, if you go to this spot and do what I do, you're going to be successful. How cool is that to have something that cool that will allow you to be successful? And now, as a member of the website, when you suck, you go, what did I do that Dave wouldn't do? You rigged up wrong. You used the wrong line. You didn't anchor. You didn't do what I said to do. It's not that hard, gang, but you make it hard. They're just fish. They're dumb. The smartest fish in the world is smarter, or the smartest fish in the world is dumber than the smartest mouse. You got to remember, if they're just fish, don't overthink it. Don't make it hard. It's not that hard. You've got to understand that it isn't that hard, but we make it so easy that you can be successful every time if you just follow the simple plan. Right, Pablo?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this website is, and just the whole saltwater guide thing is just so above and beyond, everything else out there. It's just amazing, guys. It's for a resource. If you're a beginner, intermediate, advanced, it doesn't matter. I train people using Dave's videos, Captain Hansen's videos all the time. And this is just like such an opportunity for everybody to lean on and learn from. And that way we can all be on the same page when we get out there. And it's really easy. If you're following everything that your saltwater guide has to offer, it's really easy for us to talk shop with you, and then, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's perfect, you're doing it right, keep going, keep being consistent. Or we can make corrections if we need to, because we're all on the same page. It's really easy for us to all obtain our goals together out there fishing together, and it's a huge community.
And we have a bitchin' app. I built an app, gang. I mean, this is my commitment to all of you. I built an app, that's not easy, and it's not free. Thank God for my buddy Elliot, but still, at the end of the day, it was about money, and it cost a phenomenal amount of money to build an app that carries over 500 videos, and the app is super friendly and easy to use. And then the community on the app, You can read what people are doing while you're out there fishing. People are posting all day long on the app of what they're doing out on the water. You can keep checking the app and going, oh my gosh, they're catching fish right here in Mission, right outside of Mission Bay on the half spot. They just posted, let's go over there. You go over there, you see Your Saltwater Guide flag waving on the boat. Gang, if you don't have a Your Saltwater Guide flag, you better get one, because that's how we can identify each other. There's a lot of members, right, John Stanley, right, Pablo, that are flying this flag. All of a sudden you pull up to the half and you see that flag flying. You already know that's a friend, not a foe. Because remember, when you're out there fishing, there's a lot of booger eaters that think they own the ocean, and they are losing their minds when you come close to them. I used to be that guy. If you follow how to approach another boat, you'll never get yelled at again, because I teach you never approach another boat from the back of their boat. You never want to approach any boat from their stern when they're fishing, because you're driving right up their chum line. That's full booger eater thing. But if you got Your Saltwater Guide flag flying, you're in there. You're golden. And then you got your Saltwater Guide flag flying, and you're wearing one of my T-shirts or one of my hats. Oh, my gosh. How rad is that? And then you pull up, and the other guys are on the boat wearing hats and shirts and flying the flag. Gang, we built this phenomenal community of people. When you come to the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show, and you're going to see the army of Your Saltwater Guide people wearing all of the swag and showing up at the show, because we're all so happy that we got this great website that allows us all to catch fish and interact with Pablo. If it wasn't for the website, most of you would have never got to meet Pablo. Tim, you get to call Pablo whenever you want. John Stanley, you get to call Pablo whenever you want. That's a pretty good deal, calling him, talking to him before you go out fishing. But don't forget, gang, this whole show, everything out here is sponsored by Promar Ahi USA. You want to make sure that you check out their website. The assault jig, the diamond jig, the assault diamond jig from Promar Ahi, the sabikis, everything you'll see on Pablo's boat when he's hoop netting, and everybody else that's hoop netting, you get all that product over at Promar Ahi USA. Hey, Pablo, one more time. There's a bunch of people listening that are driving around. They're listening to the podcast. They don't see your number flying up on the screen. Go over it one more time, how they can get a hold of you.
Yeah, so get a hold of me anytime. 619-431-3070. That's 619-431-3070. And you can go to my website at fernandescharters.com. That's fernandescharters.com, and then at Fernandez Charters on Instagram. And if you can't remember any of that for whatever reason, call up Captain Dave Hansen. He'll get a hold of me for you, or put you in contact with me, and I'd be happy to hear from you. And everybody out there that has called me knows that, you know, I'll spend as much time as I possibly can with them and answer all their questions anytime. And if you want to go hoop netting or have me come guide on your boat, no better time than now.
It's a phenomenal resource. Take advantage of it, gang. There's no reason to try to figure this thing out on your own. It's ridiculous to think that you could. The ocean is a giant lake. To try to figure it out on your own would be ridiculous, and it'll cause you to sell your boat. It'll cause you to get out of the fishing thing. We don't want that. We want you to be successful. Don't be afraid to call us. We answer the phone. One more time, Pablo, give everybody your information. I know there's a bunch of people driving around going, I didn't get it written down.
Hope so. 619-431-3070. 619-431-3070. FernandezCharters.com.
Gang, don't forget, I got that special lifetime membership, $350. And I also want you to check out the Promar Ahi QR code right down there on the bottom. You check out that QR code, or go into the website and put in the code YSWG, and you're going to save. Plus, you're going to be entered into the contest. We're going to give away a free bag of swag on January 1st, 2024. Call me, everybody, 949-374-0786. I'll give you a free look at the greatest fishing website ever made for fishermen. I want to thank Pablo and all of you for watching the show today. Thank you all very much, and we'll see you all tomorrow, Wednesday. Text the show Wednesday.